Hello everybody and welcome back to Oakbridge Farm. So before we move on to the next month, we are just going to, because our dairy is running but it's going too fast for the buffalo milk. So the mozzarella, it's spending long periods of time not actually doing anything. So with the goats now producing milk, we're going to take some goat milk over there, which we are, that's kind of in the way. We'll just have to go we'll go get the case and we will move that. But yeah, with the buffalo mozzarella, with the milk being turned into mozzarella faster than what we can supply the milk in, it makes sense to put our goat's milk in, and we are going to do bottled goat's milk. Because looking at the recipes, the difference between, because the other option is goat's cheese, which goat's cheese, I think the recipe is 3 milk to 3 cheese. And the bottled milk is, I think it's 10 milk to 20 cheese. But the reason why I have decided with bottled milk is it's £1,000 more. So that to me makes perfect sense. So we'll deliver that. And if we want to go to this first. So we want goat's milk distributing, so that's good. Where is the dairy? Okay, we've got a lot of goat's milk and I haven't done anything with it. That's really, really bad of me. So let's activate and we will store that. And now we can go back to the house, visit. We will sleep through and we will see you when, in the next month. Well, that's not ideal. It's raining. Oh dear. We do have, so if we go to growth, our canola is ready in field 14. We also have field 33 ready, which I think is barley. So we are finally going to do it. And I think we should really go with the gold one. The gold New Holland, the CR11 Gold Edition, which it's the only thing I can't quite decide. I'm not a big fan of the gold, and it's on wheels. I would rather have tracks, but bar that, there's nothing really different between the two, bar the weight. This one is slightly heavier than this one, so I think we've got slightly more options on here. Design, what's this? Camouflage. Yeah, I don't think we need camouflage, and I think because I prefer the crawler tracks, it does cost a little bit more. We are going to buy this one. So we're going to buy that and look at our money just disappear basically in one go. We're then going to get the header, which we don't need to buy a trailer, doing it like this with the transport wheels. So we're going to buy that. And we have gone from 900 and some thousand to 19. It's just amazing how something as small as that and your money disappears. So I wonder whether, if we go to check the weather. Okay, so it's only for this morning that we have this weather like this. So the best thing to probably do is go to our barley field first. That is a huge header. We'll go to our barley field first, and that's the one we want to cut first because it will also need to be baled. And in the previous episode we made a load of straw, a load of hay bales, and we also made a load of grass bales. So there's a lot of baling to be done. And I think for the canola field, when we do eventually get into there, that was close. When we do eventually get into there, I'm not going to drop a straw swath. We're just going to cut it as is and leave it. And here we are. I'm a bit concerned we're not going to be able to get into here. With this header, it is just so long that we may not even be able to. We're in that way. It's just going to be the back that's going to be. But yeah, we're just caught on the back. So all that money spent on a brand new machine and header, and we're already destroying it. There we go. off. So if we detach that and then just reverse back into here ever so slightly, managed to do that without running on the crop, which is, oh, don't go forward, which is always a good thing until I run on it now. So we can attach it, hopefully. There we go. And then we can unfold that, so now we are all ready. And it's just waiting for this rain to stop. So in the meantime, we will leave it like so. We'll just drop the header down and we will go and find, well, we'll take the case again. So drop that off, and we want the auto stacker, because we might as well go gather up our hay bales, because it won't do them any good being out in this rain. Now with this on, are they out of straw? They may be, but the calves have grown a little bit since we last put them in there, which is brilliant. But I think this now may be a good time to start a time lapse of gathering these hay bales up. One field done now, and this rain is still here, it hasn't quite just disappeared yet. So with that being the case, we will look at, to do where they are, bale wrappers. We will, that's the one 220. So we will lease this, and we might as well take this auto stacker to the field, because we'll be driving past it, won't we? So we'll take this to the field, leave that there, then go get our bale wrapper, and then we can look at wrapping and collecting if, well, big if this rain is still here. So we'll just pull this onto the side, like so. It can just stay there, I think. And let's go get the wrapper. So I've had two thoughts on this drive over here. When going past the greenhouses, we've got quite a bit of lettuce starting to build up again. So one of the thoughts was, when is lettuce at the right price to sell? Which we can go and have a look. Let's just get on to that. We can go have a look now. So lettuce, that's February. So we don't want to sell that next. And the second thought was, do we own or do we have to buy? Okay, we have to buy that. I just had a thought of where we could look at going, because our whole farm is nigh on solar panels on the roof. I know in the middle of 44 there is no trees, which I think it's for to help performance of the map on on your computer or your console. I thought that would be a nice place to start building solar panels in, but we don't own it, because we do own little bits like this sort of all over the place. So we could build a solar farm in there, to be fair, but I'd have to go have a look. But right, we'll take this back, and if it's still raining, we'll just have to start wrapping. Well, the skies are certainly clearing, but this rain hasn't gone just yet. Oh, I forgot to get black wrap, so we've got white wrap. I'll have to do. So we just pull onto there. What is for automatic drop? Z. The amount of times I've used automatic drop, and I still can't remember what it is. So, and I also think I mentioned about that the new baler well, the mower baler, where you can get a train basically set up of everything you need. So once you can cut it, bale it, wrap it and stack it all in one pass. I think it's a quicker wrap as well on it than what these are. But right, we will crack on. We'll get these wrapped, and then we might as well get them picked up before we have a whirl in our brand new harvester. Finally stopped, and we've just got these last 2 bales to pick up and put away, and then it will be, I would imagine, if you're thinking about what we're doing in the episodes, I imagine it'll be the next episode where we will start baling the barley field and then gathering them up. So I would think this is the last time we'll use this for today's episode. But before we forget, because I've done it in quite a few series now, where I always forget to return the leased items. So let's return that back and go tip these. Right, so these are now going up, and I think we'll take the John Deere and our black trailer, wherever that is, because I can't quite remember. So where's the John? There it is, next to it, so that's absolutely fine. And we'll make our way over to our combine and we'll have a go in that, which I'm really looking forward to. I know for me, my personal favourite is the Claas combine. You see them where we are, it's one of the most common things you see on the road, more than cars at times, well, especially during harvest time. So that is my all-time favourite, but I do believe that we have quite a lot of Claas equipment that it would be worth trying the New Holland. But we should really have given this trailer a wash. That's not very good. We won't get our red tractor for something, you know, if this was the standard of care that we took with our grain. For our next sort of UK or British map, we are 100% using the Bailey trailers. I have been toying all the time of whether we should buy one and use that. But with this series, I've never known... Hold on, we better start that. I think with this series, obviously they weren't out when we first started with it. And it seems they are such a brilliant mod and such a brilliant trailer. It seems bad of us to only use them for such a short period of time. So I'd much rather be able to get them right at the start of a series and then go from there. We want to make sure that's swath dropping. We also want to make sure that one, we're missing a load of the headland there, but if we stop, we want steering assist on. It's that big, you only need one headland. That is amazing. And I can't see us ever really using something as big as this again, unless if we do like a mini series on a huge map with huge fields. But yeah, can't see us having the money to do this again. But if we do, then brilliant. And it will definitely be a Claas instead of a New Holland. So let's get to the end here. And it does tell us in the top left corner we are getting 6.5 tonnes to the hectare, and 95%, I'm guessing that's going to be yield, and then I don't know what the other two on the right are. Well, slowly but surely we are getting there. So we're just shy of 20. I think we're 98% when we unloaded into the trailer, but it just made sense, otherwise we'd be starting a new row. So, and now we are 51, so I would say we're about 30,000 litres out of here. And if you look on the mini map, it shows you the yield. So you'll notice how in the previous episode when we looked at this field, there was a ring going round the inside where fertiliser, it didn't seem to want to apply any fertiliser or do anything. And you can clearly see now on the yield map that where we are, where we're combining now is green, and just to our right you've got a bit of dark green and a bit of light green, and then you've got a solid dark green band again. So it just shows you that that's what was happening. The only thing I can think of what could have been the reason was if that was drilled, if that bit to our right was drilled with, you know, before precision farming was on, or before we got the soil samples, it would have given it the fertiliser and we wouldn't have been able to do it straight after like we did. So maybe if we had just waited a month and then gone back over it again, we may have got away with it that way, but I don't know. So it's looking like this will be canola, so that we can drill that next month. But what I do want to have a think about is, whilst we're doing this, is our tram lines. Because if, right, we're full now, so we better just go get the John Deere, is our tramline settings. Because if our, I think, is the poplar, let's just have a quick look. If we go on to here, help, let's find poplar. Okay, so it doesn't tell us how long poplar takes to grow, which is interesting. That'll be something that I will have to have a look up on, because it seems to me that I'm sure it's over a year. It's over a year, or it's a year it takes to grow. So I get the feeling that if we do harvest that and then call it the end of the series, I reckon this is our second last harvest. But I'll have to just double check that. So let's just pull under here. Oh, right, and then whilst this is unloading, we will have a quick look. So I think it's 13 months, so it's a year and 1 month. And if that's the case, it may all coincide with our next harvest. which if that is true, that would be brilliant. But my trailer thought here is I would like to go for the big Agrifac sprayer. And if we're doing that, we would have to, drilling these, set these fields accordingly with the tram lines. Because if we don't do it now, when we do go to spray them, it will look rather odd, most likely. But if we just lift this turn round... Oh, I missed a little bit there, and I missed a little bit up there as well, but that doesn't really matter too much. We've got plenty more than enough here. We've got over 40,000 litres of barley. And now the final little bit, we will have to take this in the combine. We might as well take it as close to our yard as possible, and then when it comes to emptying that trailer, we can empty that straight with into the chickens and then into our silo. I just have a feeling that this could be, the auger could be too big to unload straight from here into the silo at the livestock farm. I just hope the pipe doesn't get in the way when we go to tow this. But there's only one way to find out, isn't there? Right, time to tell. Can we... Okay, no, that's... Oh, we're still on the header trailer. So can we... I'm sure we should be able to move. There we go. Will that get it down into there? Smashing. Although we are slightly missing. We'll just wait for that to unload. Now we can raise that up and we can take this to the canola field, leave that there whilst we go sort out the John Deere with his full load of barley. So we can just pull this out onto the side here. Our neighbours won't mind us leaving it here. They probably will mind us driving on their crop though, so apologies. Let's just turn that off because we've already rocked up 0.6 hours. Now let's go the John Deere. So we can now go empty this into the chickens and then the rest into the silo. Okay, we may have a slight issue. There's already a trailer there. So this can just go straight into the silo and then straight to the canola field now. We should really move that case as well because that's kind of just sat in the way. So round the corner. And now let's back up. Just like so, so we'll get this emptied now. Right, with that empty, to the canola field. I like to use barley as the chicken food because I think you get a higher yield with it and it's the least valuable, so you're getting more. So if you were to sell it, you're getting slightly less money than you would do for wheat. I know you've got the higher yield, but for me I think, well, it's more to go towards the chickens, and because eggs are obviously worth a lot more. So I will just leave this down here, and whilst we're on with this, I want to have a look at where is sprayers. Soil cultivation, I think, will it be yield improvement? So this is what I would like to buy. So if we were to get that with the biggest boom, that's 54 metres. What would be if we were... Okay, we can't even look at what the leasing cost is. So 54 metres. So if we go to here and go on to this field, we want to be on precision farming, tram lines, 54 metres. And then we want to put this, tram lines, 54 metres, 60 metres. Wow, that's fairly substantial. Tram lines 54, and then this one, tram lines 54, and then I shouldn't need to because they're arable. Brilliant. So we are now set that we are now going in that direction. I don't think I will have the money at any time soon for it. What's happening here? I need to turn it on first. That would help. I don't think I'll have the money anytime soon for it, but it'll be quite nice to use, even if it's though just for a short while. So let's put this header back on and we will do this canola field, which shouldn't take half as long as what that other one did. It'll be more the turning around. So let's get that on. Let's unfold that. We want to make sure we take the swaths off so we're not messing around with that. Turn on, drop down, and let's go. And here you go, this could very well be the last bit of canola that we put into the oil mill, because if it is just one more harvest and then we're all done, there's no point putting our products into the oil mill because we'll never get them back out again. And when we have a big sale at the end to make sure, you know, to see what sort of finances we end up with, we'll be missing out on absolutely loads. So canola's going, olive oil, the olives, we want to deactivate that because we don't have any. Sunflowers, we've still got loads going through there. But on that note, I think that's been a very productive episode. So I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you've all liked and enjoyed the video, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye for now.